It said congratulations. I said.
Keep on this time, man.
Hey, it's Lex signing in, and today, y'all, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got into my dream school, aka the illustrious Howard University. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to touch on are my stats. So I'm gonna start out with my GPA. My GPA when I applied was a 3.8 unweighted and a 4.6 weighted. In my state, it's basically an unweighted GPA with a little bit of bonus points. But if you don't live in a state, it doesn't really matter. But we have that, and that GPA was like a 4.1. Now the rigor of my classes, I say I took 4 AP classes throughout my whole high school career up until now. Well, I'm taking AP Gov this year. So up until now, I've taken 3 AP classes, and the rest of my classes were honors classes. Freshman year, I did take regular biology, something that I should not have done, but I didn't really know if I should take honors or not because I never had biology strictly in junior high school. We had just science. So I was like, and science is not really my thing. So I was just like, let me take regular bio. The work was very easy, very much insulting my intelligence. And I mean that in the most humble way. I'm gonna touch on my ACT scores. I did not take the SAT, and I only took the ACT one time because I was satisfied with my score. I got a 25 on my ACT the first time. I got a 23 in math, 24 in English, 26 in science, 27 in reading, and I got a score of 8 on the writing. It doesn't matter anyway, but in case you wanted to know, I got an 8 on the writing. A lot of people take the ACT or the SAT, whichever one you want to take, more than one time. I say if you are satisfied with what you have already and you are smart about it, then what are you taking it again for? My advice would be just weigh out your options. Look on Google, type in what's the average score for Howard or whatever school you're applying to. Type in what's the average ACT score, or what do you have to get to qualify for scholarships if that's something you want to look into. But yeah, I got a 25 first time and I did not take it again, and I did not take the SAT.
I'm gonna reiterate because that might sound a little bit unclear. What I was saying is if you took the ACT and you researched about your university, trying to figure out what the stats are or where you have to be, and you are not where you have to be, take it again. But if you are where you have to be for scholarships or either just to get in general, you're fine. That's my standpoint.
Now moving on to my involvement in school. Freshman year, I did not do anything. I was not involved in anything. Do something like join a club or something your freshman year. That's something that I wish I would have did, but at the same time I was still trying to fill out high school and make sure everything was going okay for my first year of high school, because it is a very good change, a very big change, and it was a very big change for me, especially since I moved across the country. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you are starting your freshman year of high school. But sophomore year, I went into the band. In junior high school, I played the clarinet. I played B-flat clarinet, and I also played bass clarinet. I stopped playing because I thought I wanted to maybe dance in high school or whatever, but I missed the tryouts because by the time we moved out here, it was too late. I was in marching band as well as intermediate band when marching band season was over. That year was rough. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Intermediate band, I was second chair, which is basically like I'm like co-captain on a team. So I was second chair in intermediate band. Junior year was basically my best year. Junior year is really when you want to stand out and show the colleges what you want them to see of you. Sorry, y'all. I made my own step team at my school along with a couple other people. So on my application, I got to say that I was the founder of my step team, and I also joined the Black Student Union that was formed that same year at my school. I made my step team because I just wanted to be different. I wanted to showcase my culture without having to fit into the dance team or the cheer team, because at the end of the day, I just didn't want to do that. Yes, I have been on a dance team and I have been on a cheer team before in junior high school, but I felt like I didn't want to do that anymore. I felt like I just needed to showcase who I was and what I was about and what I was capable of doing, which is what I did to a T. That team is now in its second year and we're doing good, so yeah. And now senior year, I am in the same team and I am still in Black Student Union. Community service, I am in Trio, Upward Bound, and Trio has allowed me to do a bunch of community service throughout the years of my high school career. I have worked with the National Guard, doing trash cleanup. I've done volunteer work at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm gonna put community service and volunteer work all into this one section. I've helped out at shelters in the city. I was just at a gift wrapping event where we gift wrapped a bunch of gifts, Christmas gifts for the homeless youth in my city. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff as far as community service goes throughout my high school career, which probably stood out on my application. Next thing I want to talk about is coming out. Filled out the application. It asks you like straightforward questions like, what major do you want to go into? Things like that. Nothing too major. Nothing extremist. Next thing I really want to talk about are your essays. It might be hard. I know it's hard to write an essay. It's hard for me. I hate writing now. Nobody hates writing more than me, and I know that for a fact. When you are writing your essay, first off, pick a question that you can really hone in and think about and write about. Write a long essay, not long, but a decent length essay about. For example, for my personal essay, I wrote about something, I'm not gonna say what I wrote about, but I wrote about something very personal and detrimental to how I move today, how I am today. And I feel like that is one of the reasons why I got in, because I talked about something that was near and dear to my heart. If you sit up there talking about something that is on a large scope that you don't really care about, chances are the person that's reading your essay is not going to have any emotion attached to you. You want them to feel something when you write your essay. So if they just reading it and not really taking it in, digesting it and thinking about it, or saying, wow, that's really cool, or oh my goodness, she's been through a lot. Depending on what you write about, they'll have different comments to say, obviously. But if you're not making them feel something, you're not doing your job. So my advice to y'all, when you're writing your personal essay, pick a question. It's like 10, 12 questions. Plenty. Pick one and then brainstorm what you could write about, and then just start writing. When you write about something that is detrimental, near and dear to your heart, they're going to feel that. They're going to know that you sat down, you brainstormed, and you came up with something that is original to you. And it could be something that they've never seen before. So just keep that in mind when you're writing your personal essay. And also I want to say, you feel like your essay does not need to be read by anybody, don't let nobody read it. And if you do decide to let somebody read your essay, take it with a grain of salt, especially if it's something very personal to you. Because for me, I didn't have nobody read my personal essay. Nobody read it because I didn't want anybody to correct me on what I was trying to say or put it in some type of format. I didn't want my thoughts or my feelings to be in a format. Like, it wasn't a formal paper. It was a personal essay. That's how I thought of it. So I just wrote what came to mind. Of course, I did a little fixing here and there. But for the most part, I just wrote what came to mind. Oh, let me tell y'all the question that I answered. So in my personal essay, I answered the question. It was like, what major event in your life basically is the reason why you act how you act today? Now on to the major essay. So when you pick your major, Common App generates the prompt for that major. So for example, I picked psychology. So they had a prompt that was centered towards COAS, College of Arts and Sciences. So basically the question said, what can you contribute? You know, why do you want to go to Howard? Why do you want to major in psychology? Things of that nature. I talked about surface level stuff, and then I talked about stuff that was near and dear to my heart towards the end so that they could remember me and remember my story and remember my purpose. And so in the beginning, with that essay, in the beginning, you just want to be introductory. Talk about what you plan on doing. Like, for example, I'm gonna say this in a nutshell. I'm not gonna give y'all the whole essay because that's cheating. But I, of course, like I said before, I want to major in psychology. I want to be a psychologist for children and families. And one day I want to open up my own psychology center where I have specialists for basically everything, every disorder, every mental illness in a book. That's just how I see myself expanding my psychology career. So I talked about that. I talked about the reason why I want to be a psychologist, which is very personal. Then I talked about what I want to do, which is what I said before. You need to talk about what you want to do. That's cool. But then you also want to talk about why should Howard care? And that's what they're looking for. You want to answer that question all throughout your paper. You give them your talent and they get what? What do they get out of that? Well, fee waivers. Talk to your counselor about getting a fee waiver for Common App. I promise you, your life will be 10 times easier if you ask your counselor if they could do fee waivers. Once you get one fee waiver for Common App, that's it. Your fee waiver applies to every school you apply to unless they say it doesn't apply, which is boo. Just keep that in mind. Ask them early because them deadlines will creep up on you. And I know that for a fact. So make sure you ask them early. Also, make sure you get your counselor recommendation as well as your teacher recommendations early. You need one counselor recommendation. You need one teacher recommendation. Another one is optional. I only had counselor and one teacher. So keep that in mind as well. Make sure you ask your counselor and your teachers early. Do not wait. Like for me, I had my essay, I had everything done before November 1st. November 1st was the deadline for early action. And I had everything done way before then, but I was sitting up there waiting. Do not wait, because the sooner you get your application in, the more eligible you are for scholarships, no matter if you early action, early decision, or regular decision. The sooner you get it in, the more money you'll get. So, because the money is always on a first come first served basis. So make sure you get it in as soon as possible, even if it's way before the deadline. Make sure you get it in as soon as possible. So when I was done, I pressed submit. Boom, boom. Everything was cool. It said congratulations. It did the little confetti at the end. It said congratulations for applying. You should do this and blah, blah, blah. Right? So then I think a couple days after that, maybe on the deadline, November 1st, I got an email from Howard basically saying that they received my application. Cool. Everything was all set. They said that December 13th should be the day that I get my decision. I'm telling y'all, as soon as I woke up, I went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, did all of that, came back, checked my phone. I was like, nothing. Okay. So then I went to school, did the assembly, came back home, checking my email, nothing. And then, so I was like, okay, cool. It was about maybe 7 o'clock. I had started typing in like hashtag HU24 on Twitter. And mind you, I didn't have a Twitter. I had to type in like hashtag HU24 on Twitter in Safari. So I typed that in. I kept looking at the tweets or whatever. Nobody was getting acceptance. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well just make a Twitter. So boom, I make a Twitter and I'm on there and I just keep refreshing. The student ambassador said that they was going to let us know about our decisions at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Mind you, that's 9 o'clock where I'm at. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's not a problem. But that was a whole different day on the East Coast than they said originally. That would have been December 14th. 9 o'clock coming around, I checked my email, nothing. It was about maybe 9:45, I think, when the first acceptance letter on Twitter had came out. They was like, oh, I got in. Then another one came maybe 2-3 minutes after that. And then it started getting, you know, a little crowded with them. So I'm like, okay, let me check my email. I went on Gmail, I'm refreshing. Ain't nothing there. What's going on? So then I went back on Twitter and I'm refreshing and I see people getting their acceptances. And then I saw somebody, they was like, oh, I thought I didn't get accepted, but it was in my promotions all along. It wasn't in the main inbox. So I'm like, okay, let me check. I went on there, checked promotions. It said Howard admission decision. I pressed it. It said congratulations. I said, nah, but I was really excited. I almost cried. That's basically how I got in. If you have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to ask, especially regular decision, because that deadline will slowly but surely approach and you will be stuck if you don't have everything together. So let me know if you need something. And I'm wearing the same shirt as last video because this video was recorded on the same day as that one. Without further ado, hey, it's Lex and I'm signing out. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see me more, and comment down below. HU24, if you're part of HU24, comment down below. If you're going somewhere else, let me know where you're going. See ya.
I guess I kind of